Welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. I apologize for not releasing an episode on the game yesterday, but I had certain issues that I needed to take care of, and I didn't have any pre-recorded episodes, so... But here we are back again, and we are in Armag's tomb. I've managed to convince Zoreg that I am worthy enough to be let past. So that is exactly what we are going to do. Armag looks fairly impressive. Let's grab the loot. Okay, so there was a magnifying glass here. You smell incense in the stale air. Okay. Yes, Gizmo, the chair is available for you, so just go be a nice cat and lie down. Yes. Uh-huh. The great chieftain's tomb reeks of death. Not the ancient death of the chieftain himself, but recent death. Dismembered bodies are scattered around the room, the blood staining and pooling on the floor. You barely even recognize the remains as human. They were once members of the Tiger Lords, the barbarians who followed their leader to this tomb, only to fall by his hand. Armag himself stands in the center of the room, clenching a blood-stained sword. He breathes heavily like a hunted animal, his eyes wild and aimless. His voice is hoarse as he shouts at a slim woman in a grey cloak in short, abrupt phrases. The woman's yellow eyes are fearless as she watches the chieftain through the holes in the veil that covers her face.
Lies! Armag's entire life a lie! Armag is not Armag! The sword says it is Armag! The sword... it calls Armag an imposter! What now? What? What to do? Who is Armag now?
So we're dealing with an intelligent sword here, are we?
Hush, my boy. Calm. You really are Armag. There have been no lies. But your soul has slept in the sword for so long, it just doesn't recognize you. It will soon, though, and everything will be all right. You know you are a hero, a great chieftain, the greatest of all chieftains ever born into this world. Remember that. Hold on to it. Great deeds await you. Soon. Very soon.
I might have something to interject on that.
Stop lying! Armag is not even Armag anymore. Was never Armag in the first place. Armag is like the 8 mothers now. No name, no tribe, no destiny. What's left now? What? Only revenge!
Well, if he's gonna kill her, I'm not going to interject. That was effective. How about you haste? And how about you displace? And how about you charge? And I don't think there is any way for me to stop this. The exhausted barbarian falls to one knee, the blood seeping from his wounds falling to stain the floor. He doesn't look at you. His gaze wanders around the room until it stops on the bodies of his tribesmen. Stand, we need to talk. With great difficulty, the barbarian regains his feet. His bloodshot eyes dart about nervously, studying you from head to toe. Who are these defaced sisters?
The 8 mothers fed Armag, raised him, taught him everything he knows. Since he was born, Armag knew no other family and no other tribe. They told Armag of his great past and his even greater future. And every word was a lie. Armag was just their trained dog. He jumped when told, growled, tore their enemies to pieces. He had no idea for what or why he was fighting.
I feel that as a Norwegian I should probably start talking like this. I'm not convinced by this voice actor.
One more thing. Once, Armag heard them talk about another sister. The one they all serve. When he asked, they lied. Said there was no 9th sister. That Armag had misheard them. He should have understood then that they weren't to be trusted. Those who lie once are not to be believed twice.
That's harsh. But yeah, we do know that there is a 9th sister and that she's tried to kill us several times. What are you doing here?
Armag, the great chieftain of the past, was buried here. Armag, the great chieftain of the present, was born again. He had to return here to reunite with his soul, the one sleeping within the sword, to become whole again, to restore his power, to reign over the land again, to challenge the gods again. That's what the 8 mothers told Armag. They lied. They were lying all along.
Why did you kill the sister?
Armag took the sword and spoke to Armag's soul. The sword said Armag was not Armag, but just an impudent brat. Ancient Armag's rage blazed like a torch in the night. All that was hidden was unveiled at once. Everything. The 8 mothers raised Armag, and since childhood they kept saying Armag was a great man with a great destiny. Lies! Lies and more lies! Armag is not Armag. Armag is just a toy for the 8 witches. But no more. Armag's life is over. But at least he dies free from all lies.
He looks a bit crazy.
So much blood was shed in vain, and yet compassion for this person stirred in my heart. A bitter lot. Treason of those you thought were your family.
Why did you kill your people?
Ancient Armag, great chieftain of the past, invincible hero, Gorham's champion. He served only Gorham. Not his people, no. Only Gorham. When he killed, it was not to feed his people, not to gain glory, not for wealth, not for power. No, it was the other way around. He fed his people to make them better killers. The blade was thirsty. It quenched its thirst on the blood of Armag's fellow tribesmen. Ancient Armag was a great warrior, that much is true. But he was a bad chieftain. He would send his people to their deaths for no good reason. Armag wasn't a hero. Armag was a kinslayer.
Interesting.
This ancient Armag was a scum, if what you say is true. Some just love to venerate some dead wretch.
That is probably one of the most true things Amiri has ever said. Why did you attack Brevoy?
The 8 mothers used to say that today's Armag is a great chieftain, just like ancient Armag. He would defeat anyone he wanted as soon as he could find his soul. They said all he needed to do was find the tomb. Then he could conquer Restov, conquer all of Brevoy. Just find the tomb. But did ancient Armag need some stupid tomb? No! He just fought and won! If Armag is really Armag, he would be bound to win.
Good point.
But this Armag is not that Armag. He led his people into a trap. Realized too late that he won't be able to take Restov. And that's when the 8 mothers told him they had found the tomb. Armag entered the tomb to become stronger, to save his people, to bring them glory and riches. But all he found was death. Ancient Armag and present Armag have that in common.
We always only achieve death. Even presumed success in mortal matters is actually just one more step toward the grave.
Ah, you're always the happy and positive, not at all nihilistic fellow, Harem. Could almost learn to like this dwarf. What will you do if I let you live?
Nothing. The sword is cursed. It controls the hand that wields it. If Armag is freed, he'll kill again, just as in the past. Not for glory, not for riches, just killing for the sake of killing. This cannot be. Armag must be buried in Armag's tomb.
Wait. Before you die, I need to ask you something.
Nothing.
Apparently.
The sword is cursed. It controls the hand that wields it. If Armag is freed, he'll kill again, just as in the past. Not for glory, not for riches, just killing for the sake of killing. This cannot be. Armag must be buried in Armag's tomb.
I guess we have to let him die. Which is a shame. Then he can do it himself. So, Chaotic Good, do it. You may not be the real Armag, but you can still have a heroic death. Armag nods to you, plunges the blade deep into his chest, and silently falls to the floor. Which makes me curious about this sword. Murrow Bane, enemy of all enemies. Holy. Well, I guess it's not really holy, but yikes. That is an interesting sword. Murrow Bane is an object of dispute between Pharasma and Gorum, a symbol of the eerie, short-lived triumph of the god of war over the goddess of death. Not wishing to give his champion Armag over to Pharasma and the Great River of Souls, Gorum infused Armag's soul into the sword, and for 1,000 years it waited for the time when it could return to the chaos of mortal battles for which it was born. Guess we could equip this on Amiri, but I am slightly worried about this one. So the soul within the Murrow Bane can manipulate reality around its wielder, allowing them to cast a small assortment of spells from abjuration and transmutation schools. Each round in combat, the wielder of Murrow Bane risks falling under its influence and losing control over their actions. Each round, the wielder must succeed on a will saving throw with the difficulty of 23 or just begin attacking the closest target. Each round afterwards, the wielder can make another saving throw to regain control. For every successful saving throw against this influence, the difficulty of subsequent saving throws is increased by 1 until the end of the combat. So giving this to Amiri is actually quite dangerous, because this sword does a very, very substantial amount of damage. An anarchic weapon is also infused with the power of chaos. It makes the weapon chaotically aligned and thus bypasses the corresponding damage reduction. It deals an additional 2d6 points of damage against all creatures of lawful alignment. But it also has speed. When making a full attack, the wielder of a speed weapon may make 1 extra attack with it. The attacker uses the wielder's full base attack bonus plus any modifiers appropriate to the situation, but it is not cumulative with similar effects, such as a haste spell. That would make it completely, ridiculously overpowered. Belt of Physical Might plus 4, Natural Armor plus 3 amulet, Ring of Protection plus 4, and a Cloak of Resistance plus 4. That's substantial. We have a Sky Metal Cogwheel. Okay, but I'm guessing there's more to this tomb than just this room. These barbarians placed their trust in their great chieftain, and fell by his hand. That is a substantial amount of money. Oh, crap. Spectre. But no negative levels, that's good. And the Belt of Giant Strength plus 4, 2 of them actually. And a Heavy Shield plus 4. Is that it? So let's see. Now, Amiri, what is your will? That is... No, I don't think we're gonna let her run around with that weapon, because, yeah, that's 28 to 42 damage. Well, it isn't actually that much more than the one that we're already using on her, but still. She's gonna go haywire all the time with her low will. I guess makes sense since she's a barbarian. Here's a great sword plus 3. Instead of peace and calm, tension and anxiety prevail in this tomb. You can sense that this place wasn't meant for the great Armag's eternal rest, but rather just a nap while he awaited new battles. Yeah. Guess that's one way of looking at it. Let's cast a few positive energy. There we go. This room looks sufficiently ominous. Armag took a great deal of trophies to his rest. Now they are all yours by right. Well, if I only could carry all of this gold with me. That's something that I've always wondered about when you find these treasure rooms like this. I mean, there's piles of gold in this room. But I can't take it. Why? A longsword +3. I like that it's a dog that found the secret chest. An ancient Caledorn ceramic potsherd. And protector's robe. What is that? Grants its wearer +5 dodge bonus to armor class and +1. So it's a monk armor basically. There's a chest. Well, I guess we need to go outside and deal with the Tiger Lords. It's a chest up there, but I think we looked through that. Yep. The optimal outcome apparently would have been to save his life, but to save his life I believe that I must have succeeded at whatever Amiri failed at back then. But I don't know if it's possible to make her the chieftain now. It's noisy at the tomb's exit. Many Tiger Lord's tribesmen have gathered here. They are arguing and bickering, and the discussion is so heated that some participants have begun punching their opposition or drawing weapons, while more level heads work to calm them down. Dugath is here too. Noticing you, he stops speaking and gives you a warm smile. As you step forward, the crowd surrounds you. The Tiger Lords bombard you with questions about the fate of their deposed chieftain. Armag didn't lie to you. The ancient chieftain's spirit really did live in his body. Still, he fell by my hand. The barbarians all fall silent, stunned. A moment later, the arguing breaks out once more. Gwart, Dugath's apprentice, pushes his way to you through the crowd of arguing. Who are they? Our elders, clerics, bards, and strongest fighters have gathered here. Everyone important enough to have a voice in the matters of our tribe. And as you can hear, they are more than happy to continue using those voices. With the fate of our tribe at stake, I can only pray that Great Gorum holds his hand and allows us to resolve it without bloodshed. So what's going on here? It's a tribal council of sorts. Once word spread about the location of Armag's tomb, elders and other influential tribesmen hurried to come here. Armag's actions have split the tribe in two. Some call him a hero, while others consider him a criminal. Armag's death failed to mend the wounds his life inflicted on the tribe. Quite the contrary, in fact. Those who curse Armag for sending his tribesmen to senseless deaths also won't tolerate those who praise him as a great chieftain. Well, these seem like Tiger Lord's affairs. What help would I be? Your army forced us to retreat. You defeated our chieftain in an honest fight. What is more, you've achieved what no one before you could. You delved into Armag's tomb and proved yourself worthy to enter his resting chamber. And if that weren't enough, the land where the tomb is located is yours, or soon to be yours. Everything hinges upon your decision. Well, we can either take them in, or we can send them back to Numeria, but let's take them in. Alright, I will take in any Tiger Lords who wish to leave their tribe and live on my lands, provided they swear an oath of fealty first. This time, there is no yelling, no bickering. After a short and intense debate, one of the elders addresses you. We gratefully accept your offer. With your permission, we will settle here, keeping the peace of Armag's tomb as well as the peace of your borders. There is one more issue we must discuss. Who will lead the Numerian Tiger Lords? While it may no longer be your concern, those who make their homes in your lands will need a leader, and this person will need to be respected by the tribe, but also hold your trust. If you nominate an appropriate candidate, we will heed your decision. Now, I could have made Amiri the chieftain of the tribe if I had done the correct choices up to this point. But since I did not, I will either have to choose between Dugath or Gwart, and I think I will choose Dugath, because he has proven himself to be an honourable man, the way that I've seen it. The Gwart is fine too, but young. So, Dugath is wise and valiant. He will make a fine leader. The cleric nods with dignity and steps forward. Tiger Lords, we cannot let this rivalry split our tribe. We are still brothers and sisters, and if trouble comes, we will unite and fight it together. But for now, Gorum calls for us to go our separate ways for a while. Return to Numeria, choose a new chieftain, and lead the tribe to wealth and glory. We will remain here by the tomb of our ancient leader. Farewell, brothers and sisters. The barbarian nods grimly as the cleric speaks. Once his speech is over, some of them remain and the others bid farewell to their tribesmen as they leave. Dugath approaches you and shakes your hand. That's how it goes, Baron. Truth be told, when first we met, I was sure Gorum would eventually pit us against one another on the battlefield. I am glad that was not the case. We will roam this area, and if any enemies approach your borders, they will have to deal with us first. That's a nice amount of experience points. After the new chieftain finishes his speech, the time comes for farewells. Some barbarians exchange hugs and shakes their tribesmen's hands with teary eyes, while others simply clench their fists and spit on the ground, muttering curses. Finally, those who decided to return to Numeria leave your lands, and the rest surround their leader. Now, we have to attend the coronation. That's an interesting development, I guess. Guess they don't have anything else to say to us. No, they don't. This tent is dirty and untidy. I don't think there is anything else for us to grab here of interest. No. Just let's leave. Okay, now, do we have any other quests? We have Coronation, which is in the capital. We have Kalike's quest. Affairs of the Heart. Chemo asked us to pay him a visit. We could do that because I want to have the coronation in the next episode. Let's go to Villa do Escao. then North Nile marches. I believe that is here. So let's teleport to Port Martin. It actually says North Nile marches. Have something going on in the kingdom. Christian failed, so the councillor convinced the court healer to speak before the citizens, but his speech had no effect. -1 loyalty. Then we have everything is ready for the coronation, which is interestingly enough a problem. We have research into the nature of curses for Armag, and we can claim Glenebon. Glenebon is... I think it's up here. No, that's Dunswood, so we can claim this region. Well, then we have quite a bit of sites to discover up there. I thought we would be able to claim these first, but apparently there is an order these can be claimed in, based on chapters and such. Let's go say hello to Chemo. Sharel, there is Chemo. Now what do you want? Chemo smiles at you absent-mindedly. Good day. What did you want to ask me? You won't believe this. It's about her. She finally agreed to go on a date with me. I need to get ready. You called me all the way here to tell me that you have a date? A hunter I know said that you only need one thing to woo a lady. A gift. Maybe an emerald necklace would do, but I wouldn't even know where to start looking for such a thing. Please, help me. I will repay you, I promise. I'm about to be crowned king, and this guy asks me to help him find a necklace so that he can go on a date. Tell me exactly what you need. Well, I don't really know, but surely something that can't be found in every shop on a or roadside tavern? You seem to put a lot of trust in this hunter's opinion. He talks a lot, and the other villagers listen to him. Chemo bends over and whispers in a conspiratorial tone. To be completely honest, I sometimes think that he's, a bit slow. The elf gives you a meaningful glance, his eyebrows raised high. But he has a lot of experience. He knows a lot of things that I have no idea about. So be it. I knew it. Chemo is as happy as a cat that's found a pot of cream. You are always so kind, and I will help you in return, you'll see. I'll come up with something so special. Chemo's gaze wanders far away. So, I guess we need to find him an emerald necklace. Don't suppose we have one. No, we don't, and I don't really know where we get one either, but... Well, I've gotten several necklaces that I've sold to the merchant in the capital, so there might be one there, otherwise I can probably just consult a guide. We can see what the trader here has. Be very surprised if he has an emerald necklace, though. He definitely does not. He actually doesn't have anything that I want, so... Well, I think that we'll end the episode here, and in the next episode we will go back to the capital and attend our coronation. So, thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all then.